Let's now delve inside the body to look at deep fascia. And in order to do this, we'll also look at the structure of muscle. Okay, so let's begin by focusing on this specific region on the diagram. And this is a muscle fiber. I like to think of a muscle fiber as being a piece of thread, and there are absolutely millions of these in the body. And then within the muscle fiber, there are filaments that either slide closer together or pull further apart to allow us to either contract or stretch a muscle. But let's come back to the muscle fiber. Each fiber is wrapped in its own layer of fascia. And then we gather together a series of these fibers, and once again, we wrap them up in fascia. So it becomes almost like a matryoshka doll, layer upon layer. And this is called a muscle fascicle. We can then gather together a series of fascicles and once again wrap them up in fascia. And the fascia now begins to taper off and it becomes a tendon. So this is a very interesting area. There is no end of the muscle and the start of a tendon. The fibers basically are interwoven and they're seamless. So it's almost like a highway that breaks down and slowly becomes a path. You're not able to step back and see where the highway ended and where the path began. It is essentially one entity. And the tendon actually then becomes bone. So as it arrives at the bone, it becomes interwoven with the bone. So this fascia essentially is the element that connects every single body part to every other body part. And not only does it line muscle and line bone, but it also lines every organ, every gland in our entire body. So it's really pretty remarkable. And an analogy for this, if you're much more of a visual person, is to think of a raw chicken breast. You'll notice there's a glistening surface to it. And it's basically a bundle of muscle you're looking at. And the glistening is this region here, the fascia on the outer surface. And you'll notice that there are white areas of the chicken breast, and this will be a tendon that's been cut. And then when you cut into the chicken breast and gently pull the flesh apart, there'll be like a webbing. And this is all the kind of interwoven layers of fascia that are actually within the muscle itself.